Hello there, and a very, very warm welcome this Tuesday evening. My name's Sean. You are, of course, watching the Planet Cruise TV show. But tonight's show has a difference because it is a P&O takeover. We've actually got 5 amazing deals, and honestly, these are incredible deals. I want to book every single one of them, actually. I'm taking a year off, I've decided. And we have got 2 guests tonight. Well, Nathaniel from P&O, nice to see you.
Evening, Sean. Thanks very much.
So excited about the show, seriously. And then Glenn.
Hello.
Slightly less excited.
I'll just sit behind the bunting. It's fine, I'll just keep moving me along. I'll be selling Blue Magic next week, it'll be fine, don't worry about it.
Listen, it's great to have both of you. And what an amazing, say, lineup we've got. 5 cruises, some exclusive offers. And some of the... Glenn, we know our prices well on, you know, when it comes to cruising. These prices are incredible. They're £100 less than expected, actually.
They are. They're much discounted as well. And the good thing about it, not all the cruises are going next week, so a lot of them are going 18 and 19. Some of them. So
absolutely.
You've got time to not only book the cruises, pay a deposit, but also look forward to them as well. So it's going to be quite a good one.
Well, before we get into all the deals, P&O, we hear so many great things about P&O all the time from regular customers. And you're not kind of new to this business,
No. We've been doing it about 180 years. So,
wow.
So Glenn would have probably just been maybe a teenager.
I think I was probably still doing shore excursions at that time.
Probably at that point. So, yeah, we like to think we know what we're talking about. And the great thing about P&O Cruises, and Glenn mentioned it, about lots of variety this evening, we really do feel like we've got something for everyone. Yeah.
And there's a very British feel on board, isn't there?
Absolutely. I mean, from the fact that it's pound sterling on board, so you know what you're spending, to tea and coffee in the cabins, of course there is.
That's always a big thing.
Absolutely.
And British entertainment as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We set up the whole product, the whole ship is for our British guests. It's just incredibly important. They're the ones they're so important.
We actually first met on...
Well, I was going to say, you used to work together, didn't you?
Yeah, I was on Ocean Village, and Nathaniel came on as a trainee graduate, wasn't it, for 2008 in the Caribbean?
Yeah,
Glenn
absolutely.
made out he was your boss earlier. That's not true.
That's definitely not true.
No, that's right.
He had a tough placement. He had a placement. Would you like to go out to Barbados for 2 weeks? He went, 2 months. And he went, yeah, go on then.
Go on,
So
if I have to.
he worked really hard. He got such a good tan and found out every beach in the Caribbean.
A bit of golf as well.
Yeah, we did.
We'll throw that in as well.
Well, so we are going to have a great chat, but we just want to give you, I mean, there's hundreds of reasons, but some reasons why you want to book P&O tonight with Planet Cruise. So first of all, we've got exclusive discounts on every cruise, hence the great prices tonight.
And we've raided the old piggy bank and given some exclusive giveaways, which this is special tonight. So
yeah, we've got towels, we've got binoculars, we've got wine, haven't we?
We've got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So if you book
money can't buy giveaways.
Money
can't buy. It's true.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure money didn't buy half of that stuff.
And Glenn will be modelling the towel later, ladies. Return flights plus all overseas transfers where applicable as well. And a good choice of flights, actually.
And also, if you're booking a little bit earlier as well, regional flights. So a lot of the flights go out of Gatwick and Manchester and Birmingham. There's also ones going Bristol, Belfast, East Midlands. So if you book now, you'll get that as well.
Now, we've actually got a few no-fly cruises from Southampton as well, and a very special one, haven't we?
We have got a little special one which we'll talk about a little bit later on. We've got some really exciting itineraries. We've got a longer cruise, which I said we'll talk about, and also the new deployment of where Oceana's going in 19, and that's very, very special for P&O.
Really, really exciting. Not something we've ever done before with P&O Cruises.
No. And then the last thing of always calls myself and the rest of the team, we're expert advice from our cruise specialists. So even if tonight the 5 deals that we're previewing aren't particularly for you, on our website we've got so many P&O cruises going out in the next couple of weeks, all the way through to 2019, so people can have a look at that and of course find out what they want to do.
And we've even got some lovely taster mini cruises as well, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah, some incredible prices.
Yeah,
as well. Amazing value.
I just want to give a quick call out. I always like doing a call out to some of the clients that book with us. So I said I'd give a quick shout out to Brian and Sheila Sams. They booked a cruise with us, not with P&O, but we'll move on from there. They booked with another cruise company which we won't talk about, but I did say I'd give them a quick shout out tonight. So hi guys, how are you?
How dare you?
I know.
Well, I want to book every single cruise night, and I really mean that. So we better crack on, and we do think we're going to have a very, very busy show, so do give us a call tonight if possibly can. But we're going to start off with a wonderful cruise around the Norwegian fjords on board the Azura. I really fancy this one. I've already done the fjords, but I'd love to go with my mum, actually.
If there was ever somewhere in the world that is just set up perfectly for cruising, it's the fjords. Just the scenery, it's just absolutely spectacular.
The thing is, as well, the best way to showcase this would be to have someone on board talking about the ship, and this could be TV gold.
Oh, God. I think that means here's a clip of Glenn on board. Here he is.
Enjoy.
With over 8 places to eat, drink and socialise, a plethora of venues to unwind,
or 5 fantastic entertainment venues, Azura is a destination unto itself. Dining on board Azura definitely takes centre stage. With 3 main restaurants to choose from and the choice of either club or freedom dining, you'll definitely have plenty of options. But for that real touch of home, how about an incredible afternoon tea designed by master patissier Eric Lanlard? Now, if you like a bit of spice, and Atul Sindhu is definitely calling you. Blending together British and Indian cuisine, this is one not to be missed. And for the wine lovers out there, you need to pay a visit to Ollie Smith's Glasshouse. Split into 4 age groups with a boatload of activities and some seriously enthusiastic reef rangers on hand, your kids will be thoroughly entertained during your cruise. There are a host of games and toys to use, and new activities are planned daily. Plenty to keep the little ones amused while you head off for some shopping or maybe even a spa. Speaking of which, did you know there's a child-free zone on board called The Retreat? Well, there is, and you can get a spa treatment al fresco while you sit back and relax. Of course, there are more treatments available inside the Oasis Spa as well. And if you fancy working up a sweat, there's of course the gym as well. In the evening, why not head along to the Playhouse, Azura's 800-seat theatre, where you can catch any number of live performances. If you prefer something a little bit more intimate, then head along to either Malabar or Manhattan lounges, or maybe even head up to the pool to catch a film on the C screen. Whether you want an inside or a suite, there is a cabin on board Azura to match everybody's budget and taste. The insides are cosy but still come with the all-important tea and coffee making facilities. However, if you're looking to treat yourself, then why not go for a suite? Over twice the size of a regular balcony cabin and offering you not only a spacious bedroom but a living area as well. Oh, and if you really want to see how the other half live, then there's even a butler on hand.
Do you know, I know it took you 6 weeks to film that, but I thought it was great, Glenn, didn't you?
Yeah, that's put me over the caravan. It was brilliant. It was on. Do you know, I haven't been on Azura, and I was with the P&O company when they launched Ventura and Azura, and I didn't get a chance to go on it. I really enjoyed the ship just walking around it. I thought the flow of it was really, really nice, and it felt comfortable as soon as you walked on.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because there are loads and loads of venues to both eat and drink.
Yeah.
You've got the Glasshouse on, you talked about the Malabar on there as well. There's some really nice, cool venues.
And I always, of course, with having Brooke as well, I always like to go and have a look at the kids' clubs because obviously I want to see. And they were phenomenal for the children in the case of all the ages on there. I just felt, you know, when you walk on somewhere and you think, yeah, I could cruise here. I really found that. And that's not just yours.
But isn't it nice, you know, the flip side, you've got the adults only areas as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so something for absolutely everybody on that.
Great restaurants, good bars.
Yeah.
And as I said, because it's P&O, it's all in British prices. The prices are there as well. You haven't got gratuities on everything you pay for. So I just think it was a really nice ship.
And an absolutely brilliant price.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good.
And actually stay tuned because you're not great. If you want an ocean view balcony, honestly, you've got some incredible deals on those as well. But let's give you a little taster of what you're going to see. We start off obviously in Southampton, then we've got a first day at sea, haven't we?
Yeah, and this is great. So you've got on board, you're just finding your feet a little bit, but great opportunity just to relax, kick back, do as much or as little as you want. There'll be plenty going on board, whether it's a spa class going on or a talk in one of the venues. But yeah, you can do as much or as little as you like, which is what's so great about cruising.
I love sea days, I really do. I have to force myself to get off sometimes.
Just head to the bar basically and go from there.
Yeah. He knows you well already. He's only been on 5 minutes.
Actually, yeah. But this is a cruise that you've definitely got to get off on because the most beautiful, beautiful ports. And we're going to start off in Stavanger, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. So again, this is a normal 7 days fjord cruise, which is quite common with a lot of the places. But where you go into Stavanger is lovely because the whole thing about cruising in the fjords is the cruising itself, not necessarily the ports of call you go to. And here you're going to make your way through the Lysefjorda, and there you've got the Pulpit Rock, which is the famous view that you'll see on a lot of the souvenirs. That's the view there that you'll have as you sail in.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's why you'll be on the back deck relaxing, coffee in the morning, glass of wine in the afternoon. And as you sail into Stavanger, you've got all the bars and restaurants there. Just remember, anything in Norway is going to be expensive compared to what you pay in the UK. I love watching people trying to work out the conversion on the first morning and realise they've paid about 25 quid for a coffee. So it's always fun. But with Stavanger, you can have a walk around. You don't necessarily need to do a tour there, just taking the views and introduce yourself into Norway. Then we go on to Flom. Now, Flom is the 3rd biggest attraction in Norway. And when you get here, there are a couple of things to do. I always say it, Flom is about the size of my lounge. It's a small place to walk around. You'll do it in a couple of minutes. The main thing to do here is the railway. Now, railway is definitely what to do here. Now, remember, there's only limited space on the railway, so I recommend that you pre-book this. Now, a couple of trips you can do. You can a half-day trip on Flom all the way to the top. You have some waffles and then come back down on the train. or we used to do a trip called Norway in a Nutshell, which is the full-day tour. So you do the railway in the morning, then do lunch, beautiful seafood restaurant that you have there. Norway's phenomenal for its seafood, and then you come down on the coach and see various different waterfalls. That's very, very popular, but make sure you do the train. Then you go through Fjords, and that's why I'm saying if you can upgrade to the balcony on here, that is the whole purpose of doing a Fjords cruise. While you're getting changed at night time, your partner stands out on the balcony, takes in the view, glass of wine, and just takes in the sights. That's what you do.
And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to wake up, open the curtains and step out and look at some of these views? It's just unbelievable.
I mean, if your budget can only go to an inside, do it, because you'll go on the back deck, but I would really strongly recommend taking a balcony.
I mean, I'm not an early bird, but I got up really early some mornings just to look at the beautiful scenery.
Yeah. So you were coming back from the nightclubs at 4 in the morning, you got some beautiful views, didn't you? Straight on the back deck, with a glass of coffee.
Glenn, I've got a reputation.
It's completely true. We'll move on. Then we go down into Oldham now. Oldham is stunning again. You've got the lake that you can do a trip out on. You can go over to the Brixdale Glacier. And it's just a stunning part of the world. Again, if you're into your walking, your hiking, the air there is so crisp and clear. Just go for strolls. But I do recommend going to the Brixdale Glacier. It's stunning. You can walk right up as close as you're allowed to. Some great views. Just make sure when you do that, you've got good footwear on, trainers or walking boots, because it can get a little bit...
I did that, and it was spectacular. It's so blue.
It is, yeah, if the sun shines on it correctly, it's beautiful. And then we're going to Bergen. Now, Bergen's probably your best place for shopping. Second biggest city in Norway. And again, here you can do the Hanseatic buildings, the wooden-style buildings that lean to the side. Go on the funicular or the cable car. You can see beautiful pictures there. Great pictures of the ship as you go down. And again, this one I wouldn't do a tour in. So Stavanger and Bergen, I'd probably go off and do your own thing. And then in Oldham and Flom, definitely look at taking one of the excursions through the ship and going out and about.
And then a final day at sea, and then back, of course, to Southampton. Just want to take you on this fabulous ship one final time, if you can. Just have a little... I mean, you loved her, Glenn, didn't you?
I really thought she was lovely. I say she's a sister ship of Ventura, and it's just geared up for all ages. That's what I like about it. It's not an adults only, so there is a section there for the adults. The kids clubs and that area is really, really good. I just thought it had a nice feel to it.
Nathaniel, any parts that you particularly love?
I'm a big fan of the retreat, actually. We're at that adults-only area, just to, again, kick back, relax, read a book, just get away from the world.
Yeah, but that's because he hasn't got a little one at the moment. You wait until the little one's born in a couple of months' time. That'll be the end of the retreat,
I'll
mate.
definitely be in the retreat, without a shadow of a doubt. But and the great thing about the Fjords, I know we're highlighting this particular one in April on Azura, but what's great with P&O Cruises is that we go there on Britannia, we go there with Oceana as well, so there's lots of choice and dates across the whole of next year.
And you've got different times to go. So if you go in April, that means that the snow's melting. So that means the waterfalls are really, really strong. If you go a little bit later on in the summer, like sort of into June, July, you go to midnight sun, so it almost stays light throughout the day.
That is amazing.
And that is really, really good. So you've got different times to go to, but the best way to see Norway is on a cruise ship, and this is a fantastic one to do.
Now, we have got, as I mentioned, great deals on tonight's show, very special show. So, first of all, if you book tonight, 8 of you could potentially receive a P&O branded bottle of red wine. So, really worth just giving us a call as soon as you can. You might be in with a chance of that. You can upgrade to an outside cabin from under £8 per person per night based on that lead. I think it's really worth doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd go all the way to the balcony. I think, as you say, it's just the scenery is unbelievable.
It's
so
really worth it. The itinerary, they do differ slightly depending on departure date. The one we featured there is based on the 19th of May, just to give you the heads up. And also, if you do live a long way from Southampton, there's nothing worse than kind of driving down the day, being a bit stressed in traffic. We've got a really special relationship with the Holiday Inn Winchester. So for only £95 per person, you will get a wonderful breakfast, but you'll also get parking free for the week and port transfers as well. So it's really worth doing that.
It just adds another night to your holiday. You can drive down during the day. I mean, I've just come near the M1 today and it's been an absolute disaster down there. So it just gives you a chance to go down during the day, have a nice relax before boarding the ship, and of course your transfers to and from the ship. It makes it a nice start.
Right, look at these prices. If you can stretch to it, the balcony is definitely worth going for. The balcony price, they're starting at just $8.99 on that lead day. And if you look at, an upgrade to an outside, again, you're only talking, say, £50 on the 29th of April there. So, yes, do ask our cruise consultants about the different options.
Some of those prices, well, one with the asterisk, just the last 3 prices on there, will also include either free on-board spend or port parking on those particular prices.
Oh, great.
So that's a little bit of an extra bonus on there.
Yeah, so you can treat yourself in the spa or a bit of special dining or something like that.
And I'm looking at, only a deposit, obviously.
Deposit only, yeah. It's normally about 15% with P&O, so you can pay for it now, get it reserved, and then worry about it in the next few months.
But honestly, if you've never done the Fjords, do it. They are amazing. But we're going to take you all the way around the world. And now our next cruise, we've never seen this with P&O.
No, this is brand new for P&O Cruises. This is the first time that we would have taken a ship out to the sort of Dubai and Arabian Gulf. Really exciting, really amazing. A lot of people will holiday in Dubai, but this really takes in the whole region, so great opportunity in 10, 11 days to be able to see that whole sort of Arabian Gulf area.
Well, it's an area of the world I've never been to. I've been to Dubai Airport, which was fabulous in its own right. That's it. But anyway,
go further afield on this one. You go
right. I really fancy this one, but let's take you on board with. No, he's now married. Don't forget the wonderful Keith Maynard. Here he is.
At just 77,000 tonnes, P&O Cruises' Oceana may not be the biggest in the fleet, but she certainly packs a mighty punch. Fresh from her recent refitting, she was extensively and expensively refurbished and looks absolutely beautiful. Oh. You know, as a proud Englishman, the centre of my universe has always been my local pub. And on P&O, you really won't go wrong by visiting this beautiful yacht and compass nautically themed pub, which serves up a healthy selection of Britain's best. On top of that, you can really live the high life on this ship with the bubbles of the Magnum Champagne bar or dancing into the wee hours in the chic Le Club. Whether you choose the more traditional fixed dining of the Adriatic or the freedom dining of the Ligurian, both restaurants serve up consistently delicious food from an ever-smiling army of knowledgeable waiters. For those who prefer their dining al fresco, then why not try a super tender steak at the Horizon Grill on Deck 14? You guarantee great taste and even better views. Or pop along and let Marco Pierre White dazzle your taste buds at Café Jardin. Friendly and interactive, as well as diverse, Oceana offers many entertainment options, from the high-rolling fun of the Monte Carlo Club to the cabaret and comedy of Starlights. You can pop along to the atrium for a classical recital, or head here for a pint and watch your favourite team in the Winners Sports Bar. And then, after a great meal, go to the Footlights Theatre, where you'll be hard-pressed to believe that you're not actually sitting in the West End. Stylish and inviting, Oceana's cabins come in all shapes and sizes, from spacious and fully equipped suites like this, offering a host of extra special touches, to mini suites, balcony cabins and standard inside or outside cabins. But all come with a host of mod cons and a daily steward service, plus the all-important tea and coffee making facilities. Because if you're like me, you can't even face the rest of the world without at least one cup of coffee.
I know Keith had such a good time, didn't he?
He enjoyed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Does like his little trips out.
That's when he was young, free and single.
Now he's old and skinny. Join the club, mate.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about so this great itinerary, because we're seeing, places in the world that we've never been to with P&O before.
No, and I think I know Glenn will come in and articulate it even better than I probably can. But to have actually quite a number of overnights in this as well, so you really get a chance to immerse yourself in those destinations and do them justice. It's been really popular, and I think it's something that we'll look to do in the future, probably even more so at P&O Cruises as well.
What I don't understand though is there were other ships, other companies that were doing a lot of Dubai, and they all seem to have sort of gone off to other places, and they sold so well. I mean, there's no problems out there. So I think for Oceana to go in, that size of ship, 2,200 people, it's not a huge vessel in there as well. You've got your overnights, British Cruise Line in there. I think it will sell so well.
Well, let's give you a little taster then. So, flying from London Gatwick over to Dubai.
Yeah, so you're going to fly in from London Gatwick. Now, also as well, there are flights available from Manchester, Birmingham and Glasgow. The only thing I would say with this is they tend to be more limited than the Gatwick. So if that's where you want to fly from, get this booked early so you can secure those flights, because they do go and look at the availability.
Start from just £49.
£49 something like that, which is really, really good. Then we obviously go into Dubai, and this is where you're going to have your first overnight. Now, here in Dubai, there's so much to do. I mean, you go for the culture, or you go for the modern. You've got the Palm Island, you've got the Burj, you've got plenty of bars. That's something I'd really suggest doing, the desert safari. If you've not done that before, that is phenomenal. Take the family out on that. They will absolutely love it. And then again, you can go down into the shopping in the malls. There's so much that you need more than an overnight there, which is nice because we've got one at the end as well. But you've got plenty to see there, and as I said, Dubai is one of the great cities of the world now, so definitely worth a visit. Then after you've had your overnight from there, we're going to make our way over to Bahrain. Now, I haven't seen Bahrain in many of the itineraries we have, and again, another modern city coming out, again, with the Grand Mosque that they have there, the Al Fateh Grand Mosque. So, again, you've got this culture and modern lifestyle there, but you can see some of the beautiful ports of call. You're with the rich and famous over here, so keep your eyes out for some beautiful cars, some private yachts as they sail past, but that's the skyline there of Bahrain itself. Then we go into Abu Dhabi. I still think this is almost rivaling Dubai now as a place to go to. It's in the last couple of years has become even more popular. Now here you can do a number of different things. I would definitely recommend a trip over to Yas Island. Yas Island is where they do the Grand Prix, that's where the circuit is. You've also got Ferrari World, so if you're into your cars you can do that. And they've got the Water World, which is one of the biggest water parks in the world. So you've got plenty of stuff to do there, and again you've got an overnight there, so you're not rushing around, you've got 2 days to see that. Then, quite nice, back on board and a chill-out day at sea.
Absolutely, and I think the great thing about Oceana is we've had such success out in the fly cruise in from Malta that we've been operating this summer, so it just makes sense to take her out to this part.
And
as well,
knowing you're out in that part of the world, you're probably more or less guaranteed the weather's going to be
I'm just going to say that, yeah.
So, you know, you can sail out of Southampton, you never know what the weather's going to be like. Here, it's going to be beautiful weather, just sunbathe, chill out and take it easy.
And that's the great thing, that we're going to be going in sort of January, February and March in 2019, and there may be some people, oh, could it be a bit too hot for me?
Yeah.
Actually, kind of about 23 to 27.
Perfect.
So it's a really lovely temperature, and you can sit out in it all day. You're not having to worry about going out on tour and getting caught in the sun or anything like that. And we've intentionally done that to make sure that our guests are nice and comfortable, because that's what's so important.
Well, it's good because once you've done that sea day, then you're going back into the ports of call now. Then we're going to Muscat and Kochhar. So Muscat in Oman, again, if you haven't been there before, you've got the Corniche, which you can just walk along if you wanted to. You've also got the another one of the Grand Mosques. You've got the National Museum. Plenty of things to see there. And as I said, a little bit more cultural than Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Moving on from there, we're going to Kochhar. You've got the Fort and Bassar Beach. Great to take a tour out. Amazing scenery, and I was there before. Make sure you take one of the tours out of the port area during the day, up into the mountain area there. Stunning views. You'll get to see the locals, get to see the camels walking down the street. It just gives you that image of being in the Middle East. Then we go into Siri Banias Island. Now, this is the private island that the cruise lines are using, and this is something a little bit special. A lot of the cruise lines have them over in places like the Caribbean, these private islands. Here they've got one in Siri Banias in the UAE, and on here it's your own island, so you can do mountain biking, you can go kayaking, you can go snorkeling. They've got the nature reserve there, and as I said, you'll be on that with the other fellow passengers from the ship. And again, just something a little bit that you might not have done before in this part of the world. Then heading back into Dubai. I didn't get to do that on the first day, so I'm going to do that on the second day. Maybe take that desert safari, go to the top of the Burj, just go in Palms, have a look around, or just go for a drink and do a bit of people watching. So you've got an overnight there as well.
And then, of course, your flight back to the UK. I'd love to do that, as you know, say, part of the world I've never been to.
It takes in all those parts of the world, you know, that you want to see in that part, and it takes in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, then I say Muscat. It's good.
You've got those great overnights on board that Glenn just mentioned. The itineraries, again, they differ just slightly depending on departure date. Just call the team for details there. Return flights based on London Gatwick, but as Glenn said, if you're super quick tonight, we have got a few flights from Manchester, Birmingham and also Glasgow from just £49 per person. But I mean, Glenn works in the call centre, you know, they go really quickly.
Yeah, and as I said, what you're paying tonight, if you take the inside cabin, you look at about £200 per person deposit. It's booked, it's secured, you've got your flights from those regional airports, and you know you've got something to look forward to. That's what's nice.
Well, let's just give you the prices as well. So starting with that lead price of 1,379. But again, really worth looking into the outsides and the balcony there as well. And don't forget, it is obviously a different phone number always for the show. So it's 0808 250 2662. Or you can check out everything on our website, of course, as well. Now, we're back on board the Azura next. One of my favourite programmes to watch is Strictly Come Dancing. I love it.
And I'm surprised I did not approach you this year. You miss out again, did you? Oh, twinkle toes, Ryan.
Well, one, they never asked me because I'm not famous enough, and secondly, I'm actually quite a bad dancer, but I love watching dancing.
Yeah.
You love the costumes as well, don't you?
Oh,
you
of course.
Love a bit of sparkle.
He likes a bit of sequin.
Yeah.
With a spray tan.
Yeah, I love a spray tan. Yeah. Not sure I like working these two together. But this is all themed with Strictly Come Dancing, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a phenomenon in the UK, and the experience that we give our guests on board is incredible. So you'll have a couple of the dancers at least, probably a judge as well.
Oh, really?
They'll do some shows. They'll do some dance classes. You'll get to see all the costumes that are used on the show. So a real opportunity to hear about all the divas and all the stories backstage in Strictly, because I'm sure they're not short of that kind of gossip as well. So.
Well, here's a little taster. I mean, and you were saying, Glenn, this is already selling really fast, this one.
Well,
isn't
I
it?
had a group phone up the other week. They're massively into their ballroom dancing and stuff like that. So they've booked. I think you do a couple of these throughout the year, don't you? These Strictly
quite a few,
cruises.
yeah,
So there's about 12 of them or 14 going, and they keep phoning me up saying, "Yep, let's book it." And they want the early dine-in, so then they can dance the night away. But they love the show and they love the experience, and you've got the opportunity to do that. And as I said, you've got these judges on board. You've got these people that it's the biggest TV show on the television, so why not get the chance to see it in person? If you haven't got to see the tour or been to the show itself, this is a really, really good chance to do that.
And it's great. The Strictly stars that come on board, they really embrace it as well. They're up and around the ship, they're chatting to the guests, they love a bit of sort of question and answer sessions as well, so they're brilliant for us.
Well, they've been on quite a lot before, haven't they?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
they're used to it now, they're used to what to expect and what they expect from us, so it's good.
Now, however, this isn't just about Strictly Come Dancing.
No, I mean, another amazing part of this cruise is that Atul Kochhar is going to be on board. So he looks after our Sindhu restaurant on board, which is just so popular with our guests. It's sort of a British sort of Indian fusion. I haven't met anyone, apart from Glenn about 2 minutes ago, that has said that they're not a fan of, I think it's probably a little bit above Glenn's
Yeah, I like a
level.
chicken tikka masala on a Saturday night. It's a naan bread, really.
Yeah, just as much curry as is physically possible.
I tried just a couple of courses when I was filming that, and amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and the setting as well is really, really beautiful, and the presentation that Atul puts in and makes sure that he trains the chef on board to deliver.
What you do find, though, is when the celebrity chefs go on board, so, Mark P. White or Atul, you need to book so when you book the cruise, you go onto your cruise personaliser, and you can actually book a meal out.
Absolutely.
Don't leave it till you get on, because whenever a celebrity chef is on, it will sell out very, very quickly. And if that's the reason you're going on, if you wait to get on board, you're going to miss out and disappoint.
And is Atul likely to come into the restaurant a few nights?
Yeah, absolutely. So he will be cooking, which is great. But he will do book signings as well and do Q&A sessions. So yeah, he really does get stuck in. He's great for us. He creates some unbelievable dishes. They really are phenomenal.
What I'm amazed about is the price on this one. I just thought it'd be really top end.
Well,
and this is for 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, so 2 weeks for less than £1,000.
It's amazing.
It's just incredible.
It's less than £500 a week, isn't it?
I think even before you talked about Atul and Strictly, he'd be saying, right, 2 weeks in the Mediterranean, full board, all your entertainment.
And what we were talking about before the show, if you want to do a cruise, a lot of people's first cruise is the Western Med, that sort of itinerary. So, you're going from Southampton, you haven't got the flight, especially if you're taking the family and the kids, you don't really know what to take, so just pack everything and then do the cruise. You're doing your Rome, you've got your Barcelona on there. It's a lovely cruise, and I just think with Atul and Strictly on there, it makes it even more attractive. Yeah.
Well, so let's just have a look at the ship again, because she's absolutely beautiful. We're actually going to be on board 3 days at sea to start with, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So the great thing about Azura as well, there's just loads of places to either eat, drink, socialise. We've got 5 entertainment venues as well. We've got pools up on deck that either the kids or the adults can play around in. And as we said, we've also got those adults-only areas. And the kids really love. You probably won't see them for half the cruise, I'd imagine, because they'll just disappear into those kids' clubs. Really iconic atrium, really beautiful setting. There'll be some music going on in the bottom of that atrium during the sea day as well. It'll be a really lovely ambience.
I'll tell you what I like about it as well when you have 3 days at sea to go from Southampton is April's going to be a bit chilly, okay, so the pool will be empty, and then as you start to head down towards Spain, everyone starts to come out onto deck, the towels go out, and then you start to... The pool still might need a bit of an ease into it if it's April time, but again, you're heading around into Spain. Alicante, I used to have a house over near Alicante, and I know it very, very well. It's a really nice port area. Come out, there's nice bars. This is the promenade area here, but go into the centre of town. The town is really iconic. You've got beautiful old-style Gothic buildings, but also take a trip over to the amphitheatre. They've got a Roman amphitheatre there in Alicante, which you can stroll around. That's really interesting. They've got a museum there as well. And, of course, if you want to go further afield, you can go off to the glammy in places like Benidorm and soak up the rays. Then we're going to Barcelona, which, again, is a very popular destination with the cruises going into the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I mean, Nou Camp is incredibly popular to go. You can go around the museum and just see masses of trophies that are there. The Sagrada Familia, obviously Gaudi's really, really famous cathedral, and then the Gaudi Park as well. Just really stunning architecture that lots of people flock to when they get to Barcelona, and it's really easy to get there from where we dock in Barcelona as well.
Yeah, you dock just over the bridge, up to the Columbus statue, and then hop on off bus, do a tour, whatever you want to
really,
do.
Really easy.
Lots
So
of stuff to do.
again, really nice. Again, Brennan talked about first-time cruisers to hit some of these really iconic cities. It's really, really great way to do it.
Then we go into Toulon. Toulon's slightly different. You're going down into the French Riviera there. So this is the gateway. Toulon, it's nice as well just to go off and have a look around, but it is the gateway to go along that French Riviera coastline. So take the train maybe over to places like Nice, Cannes, Monaco, and there you are mixing with the rich and famous. Don't get me wrong, if you like your private yachts in the harbour, just don't have a wander around there and you'll realise what you can never afford. But as I said, if you want to go further afield along that area, and it's very, very nice. Then we go into La Spezia, moving along into the Italian coastline there. Look at that. Beautiful,
very cute,
absolutely stunning. Very similar, like the sort of Portofino, that whole coastline there. And again, it is like the Italian Riviera. Pastel-coloured houses. You've also got the beautiful beach. You've got the seaside resorts there. So I would just chill out, relax, and enjoy the views in La Spezia, because your next port of call is going into one of the big gateways, which is Civitavecchia. Now, Civitavecchia is the gateway there to go into Rome. So you don't actually dock in Rome. You're about an hour and a half from Rome, and different tours with P&O. Most popular one, I think, is Rome on your own, where the bus will take you into Rome, and from there you have 6 hours to go and explore. Trevi, Colosseum, Vatican, Sistine Chapel, toss a coin in the Trevi. Just remember, you are not going to do this city in one day. This is a taster, and then you might take your family back for a longer vacation in time to come. But nice opportunity.
You say that, Glenn. I tried to do Rome in a day and got away with some heat stroke. So,
did you?
Yeah,
there you go. That's not in the brochure, though, is it?
No, that's not in the brochure.
That's why you never work with me in tours. That's why you can never do it in tours.
So be careful. But absolutely stunning city.
And what's quite nice as well, then you've got a day at sea just to chill out, because Rome is a busy day. I'm not going to lie, especially if you've got the kids with you, so you can just chill out on board in there. And then we go to Cartagena. Again, beautiful Cartagena, nice part of the world there, and as I said, you've got the amphitheatre there, also in Cartagena, to have a look around. Beautiful city air, another nice promenade to walk along, good bars and restaurants. I normally, when I go to Cartagena, just chill out, relax and take it easy there. Then going up the rock in Gibraltar, you've got a chance to see the monkeys, which we always talk about in Gibraltar. Again, if you don't want to do that, just wander through the city. You've got the red telephone boxes, the British bobbies, and I always say it's Spain in the 70s. It's almost like in a bit of a time walk there. But again, it's a nice opportunity and good to do some shopping as well.
I was going to say the
duty free.
Duty free is amazing.
Yeah, just see what you can get on board. And then from there, 2 days at sea before heading back, of course, into Southampton there. And as I said, a great opportunity there for your 2-week cruise.
Well, again, beautiful ship, amazing price. I mean, when you look at this, we worked out it's way under £500 a week, and that's for all of the entertainment, all of your food. Do you remember really talked about the food when we were at Atul's restaurant? But yeah, stay watching. We'll talk a little bit more about all the the various restaurants that are on board the various ships. But we forgot to mention though, 12 lucky people tonight will receive a pair of binoculars as well.
There you go. Don't say we never give nothing away. There you go.
They're really good binoculars, Glenn.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
As I mentioned, you've got all the stars on board. You've got some of the stars from Strictly, and Chef Atul is going to be on board as well. And really worth doing, because bearing in mind you're going to be away for 2 weeks. If you spend your first night before your cruise in the Holiday Inn in Winchester, that's only going to cost you approximately £95 per person, but you'll get your breakfast and you'll get your parking for 2 weeks. But
you're parking at the port. I worked this out the other day. Parking at the port's about £125.
So it's really worth it.
Okay, so you might as well do an extra night there for an extra few quid. You get bed and breakfast, you get transfers to the port, and you've got an extra night on your holiday.
And now we mentioned we've got some mini cruises. You might have not done a cruise. Maybe you're just thinking about it, or maybe a group of you want to get away for a special occasion. These are absolutely fantastic. I did a mini cruise with P&O a few years ago. Loved it.
I think they're great because there are people that have never cruised before. Great opportunity to find out what it's all about. I mean, for $199 per person, why wouldn't you? Almost? And they're also great for if you just want to try a different ship. If you're not quite sure, or you want to just go and see how that ship feels.
I'll tell you the way I think it always works. You know, like you've got friends around the country, and you're always trying to get to see each other before Christmas, and you think to yourself, let's just book a cruise, all meet in Southampton. It's £100 a night. per person, you know. So that's your food, your entertainment,
Yeah.
everything. And then you all get a chance to meet together. And I was on Britannia a couple of weeks ago on their mini cruise over to Bruges. I mean, Bruges is great. Go over there, go and see Bruges. It wasn't really going there for Bruges. I went for the ship. We went with family. We took 11 of us on. 3 of them had never cruised before. They absolutely loved it. And it's your introduction into cruising. My brother-in-law can't get enough of it now.
We would love you to, you know, say, try one of these. So we've got various dates. The one that I'm looking at, actually, because I've got a big birthday that year, on the 20th of September. I'm not even saying it. I can't even say it. It's too big. But it's not 60.
Halfway to getting a letter.
Do you know, the producer just said 60. You know what?
It's not halfway to getting a letter from the Queen. Is it halfway to getting a letter from the Queen?
Yeah, it is, actually. But that's on the 20th. And I want to get a bunch of my friends together.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the 15th of December. That's the the 2-night Bruges Christmas markets as well. But the first cruise there is a little bit early, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got Ventura there 27th of October or the 10th of November. That's a nice time of year to go. As I said, you've got the 2-night there. But also the other one right at the bottom there is the Christmas market ones. Now, you know, it is stunning, Bruges, whether you go in the summer or the winter. But I really like it. Going in the winter, you wrap up warm, you walk around, and you get the real Christmas buzz with the Christmas markets. And then you go into one of the bars, you have your Belgian beers and your waffles, your chocolates to take home for presents.
Right.
All of those are good. They all go over to Bruges, but as I said, Bruges is lovely, but you go there to experience a ship you might never have cruised before, or get together with all your friends and do the mini cruise.
And don't forget that the Arcadia, which is the 7th of December, is an adult ownership as well.
It is, yeah.
But do, you know, give us a call for those. They do sell really quickly, though.
Yeah.
But you might see me on the 15th of December, seriously.
And the great thing about these as well, Sean, is that no airports, city break, get down to Southampton, get on the ship, nice and easy, so simple.
I think anyway, we better crack on. Right, we did mention we had something really special. Well, all the cruises are great exciting, but the next cruise we've never seen on the show before, because we're sailing from Southampton, but we're going all the way over to Canada, aren't we?
And this is something a little bit different, because
we've never had that.
A lot of people would love to see this part of the world. The good thing about this one is it's going in the middle of September, which is going to be the fall and the autumn time, the best time to go over to Canada. And again, with this one, no flying on this one, Southampton to Southampton, so you've got to have a little bit of time on your hand. It's not going until September 19, 2 years away. 15% deposit today, and then again, you can look forward to it in 2 years' time.
And Nathaniel, you were saying the reason why we've got the 2019 date is because these do sell so quickly in advance, don't they?
Yeah, so we've just launched our 2019 programme for P&O Cruises, and the reason that we've brought this a lot longer today is because even though this is a couple of years away, this cruise is so popular. We only go to Canada and New England a couple of times a year, and even though it seems like a long way away, these cabins will get booked up really, really quickly. It's an absolutely gorgeous part of the world, and we just want to make sure.
And as I said, Arcadia's adult only, so no kids on board on that one, so nice to sort of relax. A few days at sea, then get over there, hit the ports of call quite hard, see as much as you can in Canada, and then relax on the way back.
It's going to be amazing. I mean, I'd love to take my mum, and my mum's getting to an age where a long-haul flight, I think...
Yeah, they don't want it. My dad doesn't want to fly long hauls for 8 or 10 hours. So, and again, you can take all your luggage with you, put it all on, stay the night before for 24 nights, and it's still the £95 at the Holiday Inn, so it's worth doing.
It's really special, this one. But anyway, let's give you a little taster. Let's have a look at the wonderful Arcadia. So tell us a bit about her then.
So she is an incredibly popular ship. Everyone who sails on her really, really loves her. We get some great feedback about her. As Glenn mentioned, adults only. We've got sort of 9 bars on board that you can go and drink and socialise in. 6 different places to go and eat. The spa, you can see their real iconic place on the ship. Beautiful hydrotherapy pool and thermal suite. It's I know the first thing I do when I get on a cruise is head straight for the spa and get that massage booked in. And then
Glenn heads for the casino.
Yeah, and then Glenn will head for the casino.
That sums up the difference, really.
Absolutely. And a real highlight of Arcadia as well is this, we have a 3-tier theatre on board as well, so the shows are really special. And Glenn knows the gym incredibly well, actually.
Yeah, I walk past it straight because it's the bar, the pool bar's right at the back there.
Some really lovely deck space. And one thing that you may not see on the VT here, but Arcadia's got a very small boutique cinema as well.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about
so
that.
only 30 seats, called the screening room. It's a really lovely little area, so it's just a little extra if there's just...
Well, I used to work in Ocean Village, which was the old Arcadia, and I remember docking next to the new Arcadia when it launched in 2005. And it's just a classic ship. It's going a little bit down the lines of Cunard, that classic style of ship. It's not got the rock climbing walls, and it's not got the surfing. It's just nice, and for adults only, they love it. It's that sort of clientele. And to go over to Canada, it sails so beautifully in the sea as well.
And Atul's also got Sindhu on Arcadia as well.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so that's
He gets about, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, really popular.
I think, you know, I presented the show for, I think it must be about nearly 10 years now, and I think this is a really special cruise, actually. Anyway, as we mentioned, no long flight. We're cruising out of Southampton for this one. Obviously, you've got the first several days at sea.
Yeah, so you're going to have sea days here. There's no way of getting around it.
But
so
they're
you're gonna
great
have
days.
4
For me,
sea
they're
days.
some of the best days.
Well, absolutely. Just as I said earlier, you can do as much or as little as you like. The number of people that just want to kick back, enjoy a drink up on deck, read a book, whatever it may be. But what we'll do is we'll make sure there's plenty going on as well on board. We'll get talks going. We'll host classes, all those kind of
and
things.
And actually, this time of year, you can get some lovely weather, can't you?
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
But you
Yeah,
know
just
you're
come
heading
in
over
September.
there, and you're going over to stunning Newfoundland in St John's here, and the harbour front there. You've got Signal Hill is definitely a place to visit, and it's your sort of your introduction there into Canada itself. You've got the beautiful lighthouse, the scenery, very rugged scenery, and it's just a beautiful area just to meander around, maybe take one of the tours and just take in the views. Then we have a day at sea. Now there will be a lot of days at sea, the odd day at sea in between the ports of call. It's just to obviously get to the next place. It does take a little bit of time to do that. Then we go into Halifax. Now I googled Halifax today and I've got a completely different place on there.
Well, Howard,
Definitely, yeah, I've got Howard telling me, he was telling me an ISA. But with this one here, you get a chance to go a little bit more back to nature. So you're going to the national park there, which is stunning, and you also have the Citadel Hill, the Maritime Museum. You've got the provincial park, or as I said, you can go into the main town area, the main city, and just take in the sights from there. Another day at sea, and then into Charlottetown in Canada. Now here you've got the traditional colonial houses there, you've got Province House, you've got the Dunstan Basilica, you've also got Victoria Park, which is stunning. I love the marina area there just to wander around. You've got the promenade area just to stroll along, taking the views, and as I said, just soak up the atmosphere of this beautiful part of the world. Now, as I said to you, you're going in the autumn time, so the leaves are going to be falling. It's the best time to go, and as I said, that is the Province House, which is stunning, and you get a chance to have a walk around there, and that's the museum. Then we go down into the French part of Canada, into Quebec. So slightly different culture there, and for this one you've got an actual overnight on board. You're going to actually sail down the St Lawrence River. You've got the Chateau Frontenac, which is beautiful there, or get out to Montgomery Falls, which is Montmorency Falls there, which is stunning. But the old town of Quebec is beautiful to walk around, and as I said, it's really nice to have an overnight there because you can go and do maybe a tour during the day and then go and experience the city lights at night time.
Does look quite magical, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah. Then we stick into the Quebec area. So we've got 3 ports of coming up. We've got Sanguinet, Sept-Îles and Gaspe, which I'll probably spell all of those wrong. I do apologise. But again, stunning fjord part of the world. And you know, like we were talking about Norway here, this is going into the fjords. You can do some kayaking, you can do hiking. You're really going back into nature as you go through all 3 of these ports of call. But as I said, it's places that you probably haven't been to before. They're all new destinations. And as I said, you've got a great opportunity to have a look at the village. This place here, Gaspe as well, I would recommend doing a tour here rather than just staying in there. Very little in the actual village itself, so make your way out a little bit further afield and take in this spectacular scenery that we have. Then we've got a day at sea, and then into Corner Brook, which is another one of the small ports of call that we'll be going to there in Newfoundland. And a little bit like the Fjords cruising, the scenery as you're sailing in and out of these ports of call is what you're doing this cruise for. Make sure your cameras and your video cameras are charged to the max, because you will get some spectacular views as you make your way in there. Then down into Sydney, Nova Scotia, you've got the Petersfield Provincial Park. You've also got the casino, if you fancy a bit of a flutter as well, or as I said, just wander around in Sydney and take in the views. You've also got the Big Fiddle. Got no idea what that is, but that's why you can book that cruise and pop and have a quick look. Then from there,
I have absolutely no idea about that. I think Glenn's been called it a few times.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Actually, quite a few times on there, really.
Absolutely.
Then you got your trip back. Obviously, it's going to take 5 days, which is nice. You know, it's been quite intense while you've been over in Canada, but you've got 5 sea days just to relax, take in the views, make your way back, and then back into Southampton for this 24-day experience.
And actually, when you think you are away, you know, 24 days, 3.5 weeks, it does work out amazing value.
Well, it's £103 a day.
Yeah, I mean...
And I can't stress enough as well how popular this cruise is. As I said, we go to Canada a couple of times a year. The no-fly, so many people are crying out.
People turn around and say to us, "Well, we don't know what we're doing next week." Say 2019, but if this is something you want to do, don't leave it because, as I said, it will be sold out, or you won't get the cabins that you want. You want to get the best experience. You're on there for 24 nights. You don't want to take the worst cabin on there or whatever. You just want to get the one that you want because this is a bit special.
Absolutely.
Now.
What are we giving away now?
Talking of a bit special.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to model this.
What have we found in the locker room?
No,
have you been stealing from the gym again?
10 viewers that book tonight will receive... These are big.
Big beach towels, these, yeah.
You get 3 of me in these.
Say, you could...
Yeah, a Pinot
you could reserve about 4 sun lounges of that one.
And if you book it, if the 11th person book gets a flannel.
Seriously, you get 3 of me in that. But anyway, yes, if you book tonight, 10 lucky viewers will get... Have I got to fold this away now? Oh, Curtis, my Florence, he can see that I can't do things like this.
Yeah.
There you go. So like Curtis, I've
lovely.
managed. Phew. Anyway, let's see what's included. So, yes, 10 lucky bookings that will receive that massive, huge P&O branded beach towel. It's huge.
Pay £2.5 grand and get yourself a free towel. There you go. What better to get? There you go.
I tell you, it's nice and fluffy now. Actually, this is really good. Up to £480 free spend. Or you could choose free parking or free coach transfers as well. Again, the call centre will tell you more about that. The onboard spend is really good, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant,
up to £480.
Absolutely, and when you combine that with the fact that we're, for P&O Cruises past guests, an extra 5% saving as well, that runs out at the end of November.
Does
so
it? Okay.
Again, this cruise will book really,
and that's
really
for
quickly.
anybody that's cruised with you previously?
Anybody that's cruised with us previously.
Great, so I'd get that 5% off. Good.
Absolutely, yeah.
And really, definitely worth thinking about this. Staying in the Holiday Inn, Winchester, £95 per person. That's the starting price. You get breakfast, port transfers, and you get parking for 24 nights.
So it's cheaper to do that than it is to pay for your parking.
Yeah,
so that's why you would do that, definitely.
But do, give us a call sooner rather than later on that one, because it will be a top seller. I love that. So I'd love to take my mum that.
Tell you what, that Holiday Inn car park is going to be stacked, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, sadly, our final cruise is with us now. On board the Oceana, and it's a gorgeous Greek Isles and Turkey cruise. And look at the price on this one, $689.
Well, I actually sent we had some friends that we travel, Phil and Jen, so I said I'd give Phil and Jen. I sold them this cruise this year. I hope they enjoy it. They loved it. It was a P&O cruise, I sold them a P&O cruise. But Phil and Jen and the girls went on it this year. They absolutely loved it. They've not done a full cruise before, and they were a little bit sort of, apprehensive about going on their first big cruise, but they loved it. They loved the ship. It wasn't too big for them. As I said, 2,200 passengers. I think it's having a refit as well, isn't it?
Yep, yeah, so the back end of the itineraries out of Malta have just been phenomenally successful.
They've sold so well this year.
Everyone's really loved it. You can get to lots of different parts of Europe and the Mediterranean as well. So, what we're going to do is we're going to give Oceana a bit of TLC at the back end of the year. Can't reveal too much, unfortunately, but
I think if you have a look at a lot of the Med cruises, they go out of Palma, which is always popular, and Venice and Rome seem to be very popular. So whereas I think Valletta, people say, "Oh, we haven't been there before," and the walled city there is beautiful.
Yeah. And the great thing about Malta as well is that pretty much you fly in and you'll be on the ship within half an hour.
Exactly.
And you fly
luggage,
transfers
very quick.
The warmth, as we said.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you get a really port-rich itinerary. So in those 7 days, you get to see a number of ports.
Well, we've flown you to Malta, as we mentioned.
Now, the other thing quickly with the flights, Sean, I just want to mention as well, they do the Gatwick, which they tend to have more seats than other destinations. Manchester and Birmingham is pretty standard with P&O, but at the moment they have limited flights on Newcastle, Bristol, East Midland, Glasgow and Belfast. Now, not every single date they have, but if you want to go from one of those, that's why you need to book early, and there's a small supplement on it.
So we've embarked the beautiful ship, and she'll be refurbished, of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your first day is at sea,
which is always nice. And then from there, we're going to go down into the capital of Greece, Athens. Now, phenomenal place to go and see. Little tip here, don't take the taxis. The taxi drivers in Athens are a bit of a nightmare. They've always got a bit of a reputation. What I would say, if you are going to take a taxi to the Acropolis, make sure you agree the fee. The amount of guests that says we were charged €20, then he says it's €20 per person. Just be careful with the drivers there. So I would probably take a tour from the ship. As I said, if not, there is a train. But when you go in there, you can go into, obviously, the Acropolis. You've got the museum next to it. Once you've done that, don't just come back to the ship. Go down to the Placa area. The Placa's where all the tavernas are. They've got the grapes growing over the tavernas that they give you for dessert. It's phenomenal. Make sure you try Athens as much as you can. Mykonos is great. You've got as you dock in Mykonos, you walk around the area, or they take shuttle buses into the centre of Mykonos. It's stunning. And if you look on some of the magazines this summer, that's where a lot of the rich and famous are going to, a lot of the famous people, because of the famous windmills, the old town there. Now, there's a restaurant there with red and white checkered cloths. That's one of the best restaurants in Mykonos. Very, very cheap and reasonable. Shirley Valentine, that's what it was famous for. And watch out for the big bird that walks around. The gull walks around with its beak open, and you just throw food in it as you walk around. He can't fly because he's so fat, because everyone keeps feeding him, but it is really good. Then you go down into Kusadasi. Now, Kusadasi is great. I went there a few years ago, and we docked there nearly every other week for a couple of years. As you go in there, you make your way into Kusadasi. There are shops and market stalls everywhere, so shopping is second to none, and it's really, really cheap. Again, if you want clothing, if you want any DVDs, they sell films there that aren't even made yet, so you can get them. Clothing, some of the leather jackets look like you've just stepped out of Thriller, and they also sell fur coats in 80-degree heat. They don't do a lot of business, but you can do that in Kusadasi.
You stoked up there, didn't you?
You want to see me moonwalking,
I've seen a few of them, yeah, definitely.
Then we go into Suda Bay. Suda Bay in Crete, you've got Samari Gorge, which is the national park, which is beautiful. You've also got Knossos. When we were there last year, we took Brooke over to Aquaworld. They've got a great aquarium there, which is one of the biggest indoor pools of fish. She loved it if you want something for the kids to do. But again, Crete is a fantastic island. Then a chill-out day, and then head back into Valletta, and you fly back.
Well, let's just recap what's included. Again, we think this is really popular tonight. Brilliant prices on the inside, but you can actually upgrade to an outside cabin from under £22 per person, based on that lead date. Return flights from London Gatwick, but as Glenn mentioned, there's a really good selection of regional flights, but limited availability.
Yeah, there are limited, yeah.
And let's just show you the price on some of the other, say, cabins that are available there. So the lead starts at $689, but you can see there some really great prices on the outside and the balcony. And actually, that August date's very good, isn't it, for August?
Yeah. But that's only two dates we featured, haven't they? Because it's going to be out there again for the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we only featured a couple of dates. Oceana will be there for the full season. She does lots of different itineraries. That's the great thing about having Malta as a base. There's lots of choice. So if people fancy a bit of...
I know some go to Dubrovnik. They were doing stuff like that, weren't they, as well?
Absolutely. So. I think there's in the region of sort of 16 or 17 different options that we do. So if Greece and Turkey isn't quite for you, we absolutely do some of the more classic.
Yeah, just speak to the guys in the office and they'll give you dates where you want to go.
It'll all be on the website.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's recap the amazing deals we had tonight. They were really good, really good. I was so impressed when I started getting the notes through the end of last week. These are really cracking
deals. And there's a
good
sort of good range of stuff, really, so depending on where you want to go.
Yeah, really nice mix. Anyway...
I had to check some of them, actually. Hang on a minute.
Well, let's recap. Now, we started off with the spectacular Norwegian Fjords from Southampton. 639 is that amazing lead price. 8 bookings tonight, 8 lucky viewers from random will receive a P&O branded bottle of red wine as well. Definitely worth, because the views are so spectacular, go for an outside. That's only £8 per person per night more, or if you can stretch it, a balcony as well. The items, they do differ just slightly depending on departure dates. And as we mentioned, on all the cruises from Southampton, you can add on that extra night pre-cruise in the Holiday Inn Winchester for only £95 per person. That includes breakfast, parking, and your port transfers as well. That one has its own ID number 124986 there.
OK, then we moved on to our next cruise, our second one of the night. That was Oceana. Now, this is their new itinerary going over into the Middle East, obviously from Dubai. You've got overnights in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Itineraries differ slightly, so just call the team for details. You've got return flights from Gatwick, but remember, there are also supplements for £49 per person for Manchester, Birmingham and Glasgow. Now, the ID is 139265, starting there at £13.79 on the lead date, which is the 11th of March 19.
Now, love this next one because look at all the stars and celebrities that are going to be on board. It's going to have such a great atmosphere.
Good atmosphere on this one,
Really good, yeah, absolutely.
Now, the first 12 bookings, or I should say 12 lucky viewers that book tonight, will receive a pair of binoculars as well. Atul's on that, and the Strictly Come Dancing team. So there's going to be some dancers, maybe one of the judges as well.
Yeah, I believe so, absolutely.
Judge Window, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be great, and it is selling really quickly. I mean, even without all the stars and celebrities, $955 for 2 weeks in the Western Med is a cracking price. But yeah, that is going very, very quickly indeed. And the item number for that one is 124984.
Okay, then moving on to a fourth deal of the day, and that's on Arcadia. So this is adult only. That's sold for most people anyway. This is the 16th of September 2019. Now, this is the special one going over to Canada. It's 24 nights, so just over £100 per person. First 10 bookings will receive a P&O branded beach towel that Sean will make sure it's folded for you. Up to £480 free spend, free parking or coach transfers from anywhere in the country. Again, past passengers will receive an extra 5% off that price. And again, this is the one that you'd really go with a holiday in Winchester. You'd be mad not to.
Yeah.
That includes your parking.
I do love that one.
And the ID number on that one is just whirling around, is 155880.
And then our final cruise was the Greek Isles and Turkey cruise with Oceana. Brilliant, itinerary, but what a great price as well, $689. And again, you can upgrade to an outside cabin for under £22 per person per night there. Return flights based on Gatwick, but we have got some regional flights available if you're super quick. And then if you just want to try P&O or you fancy like a little sneaky extra cruise, we've got the mini breaks as well. So the first one there is the 2-night Bruges sampler. We've got the dates are the 27th of October and the 10th of November on board the Ventura there.
And then moving on from there, you've got the 2-night Christmas market ones on Oceana on the 1st to and the 15th of December.
And honestly, you may well see me on board. I'll be looking very old, though. And then, finally, we have got the Christmas markets on the 7th of December as well, which is on the Arcadia, which is an adult-only ship as well. So for under £200. I mean,
the thing is, Sean, as well, they're offering them still. I think you've still got a little bit of availability for 17, haven't you?
Yeah, we still, definitely.
If you think, don't want to wait until next year, we want to see what it is, just give the guys a call. They've got the mini cruises for this year, limited availability, but they'll give you prices on that as well.
And the great thing about those last two, the Oceana and the short breaks, great for people who've never tried.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, really popular.
And just to remind you, why should you book a P&O cruise with Planet tonight? We've got exclusive discounts.
Some giveaways as well, which you've seen.
Return flights are all included, plus overseas transfers as well.
Regional flights with supplements, make sure you book them early to get those.
And don't forget, no-fly cruises. We've quite a few of those, including the Canada one.
Yeah, well, that was the exciting itineraries on there, plus the new Dubai stuff with Oceania.
And, of course, expert advice from cruise specialists as well. And, of course, you can check out all the deals online as well on the Planet Cruise website. Can I say a massive thank you to Nathaniel from P&O. Fantastic show.
Thanks very much, Sean.
Really
great.
Nice to see you.
Cheers. Thanks.
Glenn, what do I say?
I'll be
As
back.
professional as ever.
I'll be back next week.
You will.
I'm off for a curry with Atul.
Did it look weird without a beard, though, don't you think?
Yeah, I know. I didn't get the dress code for beard.
You did?
My wife's wearing it instead.
We'll see you next week. Look forward to it. Give us a call and, book your cruise tonight with
guys.
us. And